OCI Cloud. I also accompanied with my customer, Compasity. What are we going to do? First, introduction about ourselves, about architecture, OCI, and Classic, the comparison, the use case, what we migrated to the cloud, and most important, lessons learned. Because I think everybody is going to make mistakes, and I like you to avoid to make the same mistakes we did. But the good news is a success at the end. We also made a demo at the end, so I know it's a long day, and please also do some interruption, raise your hand when you have questions. Next slide. First introduction about myself, for people who doesn't know who I am. My history is in Oracle for 21 years long. I had different duties, different responsibilities. I started as Oracle consultant in Oracle Forms, Oracle Requests. After 8 years, I moved to Oracle Support. In Oracle Support, I was responsible for developer tools, Forms, Requests, Application Express, and so on. I had my own team. Team leader, international team leader, global technical lead, so main contact person between developer and product management. And because of my experience in different products, I was also a teacher at Oracle University. Next slide. I moved to the Cloud Success Director role. I was responsible to help to assist customers to move to the Oracle Cloud. And in February this year, I decided to stop to work for Oracle. It was a very big decision. And I started for Bryxx. And Bryxx is a company. It's specialized in middleware as a service, in cloud migrations, and also in cloud enablement. And beside of that, DevOps, and also DevOps in combination with application express. Chris, be my guest.
Yes, thank you. My name is Chris. I'm living in the north of the Netherlands, in a beautiful small town called Zuidhorn. Oh, sorry. In Zuidhorn, married with Hanneke. We have two sons, a twin of 19 years old. Stefan, and the most lovely dog in the world, Boris, the real Jack Russell. So, as far as my private situation, been some years around in the IT, in the last 19 years as an Oracle DBA. Done some few years in working as an app DBA with the e-business suite, and always was working with Apex, but as an Oracle DBA, so not as a developer. Last 2 years I'm trying to do some more things about and with Apex development. Okay, these are my my employers the last 30 years. Last 13 years I'm a freelancer, and well, in all those years I worked for different customers. As you can see, mostly assurance and Dutch government. Last 1.5 years I'm working for Compasity. I'll tell you later in the demo what kind of company that is and what we do. And also since February working a few days a week for Bryxx.
Okay. What we did, we moved from OCI Classic to OCI, and of course, why are you going to make the decision? First, it was a little bit an obligation for Oracle, because Oracle is going to stop with Oracle Classic Cloud. And on the other hand, we wanted to have some better performance. Next slide. Because you have another network, non-blocking I/O network, you also have the possibility to create load balances more easily. Also, the network is completely different, and physical network and virtual network, they are completely separated from each other, and therefore lift and shift is much easier to do. at least in theory. Later on in this presentation we will show you the reality. But you also need to realize, because it's a completely different architecture, you are going to work with regions, and the region is geographical region, like Phoenix, like Frankfurt. Within the region you have a data center, at least 3 data centers, and also named availability domains. Next. And also because security is much, much easier, because authentication, authorization, SAML, all kinds of authentication is much, much easier. Besides of that, you have separated tenants, because all the customers are completely separated from each other, and also all your data is encrypted. SLAs, at least like Oracle, is much more convenient, because performance SLA, availability SLA, and the performance they are going to guarantee. But now the reality, because this is the theory, and now what we did. Next slide. What you need to realize when you're going to move to OCI is that you are going to build your own data center. So Oracle is going to say, you have cloud as a service, but I need to know a lot before I can go to start. First, the first thing you need to realize, administrator, I need to have a backup. What I do is I make one email address with a central administrator, like admin@Bryxx.com. The reason, when there's something happening with my administrator, I always have a backup. But I also have to realize when I'm going to configure the cloud, it's going to consume credits. So I can have a surprise that I have much more higher costs than I expected in advance. What I do is I define soft limit like a threshold when I'm going to reach, for example, €10. I like to receive a warning for my administrator. I also can do a hard limit. When I'm going to reach my €10, I want to stop completely my service and to stop my consumption. That is one thing I need to know. I also need to think about my architecture in advance. What I mean is I'm going to think about a compartment that's defining my resource within the Oracle Cloud. And I'm going to separate my duties. For example, a network administrator is going to get his own compartment, and non-network administrators. Or my development environment I'm going to separate from my production environment or my customers. So you need to think, because when you make a mistake here, and you are going to run on the Oracle Cloud, and you're going to realize you made a mistake, then you need to do many steps back. So yeah, I want to tell you this because you have to realize. And also, when you want to connect your own network to the Oracle Cloud, that means I'm going to define my virtual cloud network, I'm going to make the connection with my IP addresses and so on. So before you start, take a piece of paper, going to draw how you like to have it before you're going to sit behind the button and to press and to configure. About the architecture of the system, about your architecture of the system, because this is the real story from our use case.
Yes. Okay, where do you start when you want to use OCI Cloud? That was an issue. As an Oracle DBA, I'm not a network man, I'm not a storage man, I'm not a security man, but I want to know everything. You should know a lot of those things before you start. There's a lot of documentation on the internet. Oracle provides a lot of documentation. You should really use these documentation, read them, and prepare. You can have a question as a service, define service, because you have to know a lot of things about all those components. Okay, that was for us a little bit disappointing to know so much information to start. Where do you start? Well, Oracle has a phrase in its documentation: before you create a database cloud service in the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, you must create certain network storage and security resources in the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. So the infrastructure is really your base, and it's a one-time operation. You just configure it once, and after that, well, it stays always the same. For us, it did. We are implemented it in last December, and well, we are only working now with the database cloud service, and the infrastructure, well, it's one time configuring and that's it. So, but it's important as a base, so you really should think about it. Well, there's a lot of considerations, a lot of choices to make during the configuration. Database versions, types, virtual or bare metal. Your storage, whether you want your backup, do you want automatic backup or not, and do you want a single instance, or do you use data guard? You have to think about all those options. And in bold, here you can see what choices we made. That was our situation, but well, it depends on the customer, of course. Well, Iloon talked about compartments. Compartments you can see as kind of server node where your database is running on. So we have 3 compartments, 2 production and 1 non-production. And the production and the non-production, the left and the right one, those are almost the same, except the OCPU. The production is running on 2 OCPU and the non-production on 1. The other production one is a standard edition version with just 1 single pluggable database. It's multi-tenant, but you can have max one pluggable database in it. And the other one, on the production and the non-production, there are, well, you can scale up to, on 1 instance, to thousands and thousands of pluggable databases in 1 instance. So for us, it was the solution to have this architecture.
Yeah, the real creation, that's what I said. You need to think about a lot of stuff in advance. When you make a mistake in thinking before, then I'm sure you need to think afterwards. Next slide. There's a lot of documentation, and I know I say to all of you, read the documentation in advance before you're going to start to configure. I know there's a difference between a man and a woman. A woman is always going to read documentation, a man is going to try, and when it doesn't work, he's going to ask his wife. It doesn't work. Please listen one time to me, read the documentation. You will have advantage of it. The next what you need to take into consideration is to think about the database. Do you like to have multi-tenancy? Yes or no? Multi-tenancy is only licensed in the Enterprise Edition High Performance, or do you only need 1 instance or running? So think about the database. What is the purpose of your database? What do you need to install? And then do you need active data card? Do you need in-memory? Then you need to have the latest, the Enterprise Extreme Performance, but in the most of the cases, I think multi-tenant is a very good choice, but of course, depends on your customer situation. Backup in the cloud, yeah, you should expect cloud cloud as a service, everything is organized for you automatically. Yes and no. When you're going to make use of database as a service, yes, it's configured, but go to think about the mutation period, because normally it's 30 days. A lot of times it's going to run out of space when you have a very big database. Then I think going to think maybe 40 days is good enough. And maybe a story about our situation. In our situation, we were running out of space. Because we were running out of space, the database was going down. Because the database was going down, also our web server, ports was going down, and my customer could not reach their database anymore. You can afford it. Later on in the presentation, we will explain what we did, but there's also something you need to realize. But I always thought, it's cloud, I'm going to configure, and everything is done for me out of the box, and that's not true. You really need to know, oh, he's going to make a return, that it has this consequence, and when it's going to run out of space, it's still stopping, and I get somewhere a message, and you need to know. Next slide.
Yes. These are the considerations we made looking at the source environment where we came from. So the environment which we have to migrate to the OCI cloud. And there are different aspects you have to look at. It's not typical cloud issues. I think you have to look at it with every migration, but also with the cloud. So do I come from on-premises or do I come from classic cloud? What character set do I use? Indian format, it's a bit database stuff, but okay. Multi-tenant or not, and the database version. Choices, choices, and choices. What do you use?
Is there someone in this audience who already made the decision to migrate Classic to OCI? Do you recognize some frustration?
Only you said that choosing for multi-tenant the purpose of the database, we had a cost aspect. So we calculated from how many databases do we have to implement in OCI versus one multi-tenant license in the Oracle Cloud. What's the difference? So we chose not to use the multi-tenant database.
And can be a consideration indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You want to transfer your data from the source environments to your OCI cloud, and well, there's a lot of things you can choose on. And we choose the conventional one, with data pump, the Oracle with export import. Okay. How do you connect to your OCI cloud environment? There are three ways: through by VCN or VPN, or just the internet gateway. The last one was for us sufficient enough. Now this is, for my presentation, a very important sheet because this is what happened. On the left side, there's the situation we came from. It's multiple Oracle Cloud Classic environments, and also, you don't see it on the picture, but it's also some non-production XA databases running on 11. And in our situation, we have, for every customer, we had a separate database on a separate server. That was our situation before. So what we really did during the migration was a consolidation of all our separate customer databases into one multi-tenant database. So every customer has his own, in the new situation, his own container database. And we came from multiple nodes to migrate to one node with 2 OCP. So there's one database running with about 10 pluggable databases at the moment. And we do not have any serious performance issue at the moment. We had in the beginning, because everything comes together.
Also, the reason of the performance, that's also what I always say to my customer, and in this case it was the truth. again, is when you have a performance issue, most of the cases look to your query. When you have a very bad query in the background, of course, when you're going to move to the OCI, even when OCI is performing very well, it can give performance problems. So always have that in back. And in Apex, I have seen many performance problems, but not in Apex, because you have always a problem. The DBA doesn't know about the database. A developer doesn't know about the database, and the DBA only knows about the database, but doesn't know about the query behind. So that's one combination. Then you think, oh, cloud is going to make the solution for me, but you're going to move to another system, of course. That's always performing very well, but when the query is bad, it will still perform very well.
Well, we noticed in the new OCI Cloud that the storage and the networking is performing good. So as you can see, we only upgraded our database version from 12.1 to 12.2. But that's not really an exciting one. We did not upgrade our ODS and Apex version, still on 5.04, a little bit old version, but well, we want to minimize the risk with having more conversions at one time. We do not want that. So that's for our later on. We changed a little bit on our ODS configuration from standalone. It's now running in Tomcat applications. Next. Sorry. Okay. Let's zoom in what we just did on the server itself. So during the migration, first we have to install and configure ODS and Tomcat with Nginx as a reflex proxy. That is a one-time action. You just install that in the database. No, not in the database, on the server. Now looking at Apex, there's an interesting choice to make, because you could choose to have one Apex installation for the whole database instance. So every pluggable database uses that single Apex installation. Or you can install Apex in every pluggable database. We choose for the last one to have more control per container. So our Compasity application uses different customers and different pluggable databases, and they have different image files and CSS and JavaScript files. So we want to separate them. We created also a dummy, one time a dummy pluggable database, called here X, and we installed that Apex in it. So when a customer migrates, what do? We create a new pluggable database from clone from the pluggable database X. This is really just one statement. Two, because you have to open it also. Okay. And afterwards you configure ODS and the enterprise management console for that pluggable database. It's a few statements. And after that we do a export-import of the metadata only from the customer. And that's a preparation. You can do that a week before your really migration date. On the moment of the migration itself, the customer goes offline. We are doing an export-import of the data pump with data pump of the data only. Install the latest version of our Compasity application on that pluggable database. And the last thing you have to do is you change your DNS record, because you want to go to the IP address of the OCI server. And with this scenario, our customers were only 1.5 hours out of business. After that, they were online and running again.
Our lessons learned after our migration. One of the things you need to realize is you're going to miss the DWS monitor tool. Okay, that's quite easy to overcome. You have an Oracle Enterprise Manager instead, or SQL developer. So that was not a big issue. It's documented, and even well documented. That's something new. This is a bit of frustration. We did our installation, and after the installation, I was called by Chris, Iloon, I cannot log in Oracle Enterprise Manager. I was looking, I really don't understand what is wrong. It works for me, but it's no message for him. So what we did, trying another browser, and it was working. And that's frustrating. Some browsers are working fine, and you expect Chrome, Firefox, Safari works everything well. That's not true. In our case, Firefox did it terrific. So I was sleeping again, but one of our frustrations.
Bit embarrassing. It's like, do you have turn it on and off again? Yeah, we had made a service request at Oracle support and escalating it to level 3, 2, 1. Eventually came to Iloon. Once support once said, did you try another browser?
Sometimes life is so easy. But you need to realize manual installation. The good news is you can also automate it a little bit. Later in the presentation I will explain how, because you can make everything that is available on the capital user interface is available in REST API or Terraform script. Later on in the presentation we will explain more because it's documented by Oracle in the white paper. But again, you expect cloud, you expect servers, you expect everything is easy. And it is like my life is less easy than before. And that was frustrating us a bit. Also, that's what Chris told. You are going to configure cloud, you need to know more about network, and you know a lot about Apex, a lot about queries, but not about configuring networks. What do you need to do? Where can I find the information? Where can I find the documentation? Then you're going to try, it's not going to listen, and so on. When you know it's not difficult, like you have to know, is there something one day, at least. This, the command, you can forget it because it's documented, but when you do not know, it can give a lot of frustration. Yeah, this command is not. Is something you need to explain?
Yes, we in our application Apex we generate PDF and Word and Excel files from it, and we use Doxy, but we used a little bit old version in 12.1. So when we go to 12.2, it actually didn't work for PDF, so we had to upgrade to another Doxy level. But there was noticed that when you go to migrate, you have some tools maybe in your Apex things. You have to look at them. They need an upgrade.
This is what I said. Everything that's available within the capital user interface is available on the command line. But you need to know how, why. You have different methods to make your scripts, and then you need to fill in a lot, and then you think, it has to be automated. That's true, but the good news is, in March, I saw the 15th of March, the development team from Oracle created a new white paper. It's named Oracle Cloud Infrastructure with Application Express and ports, and how to configure and how to use Terraform. So use this, and it makes your life a bit easier. And I say a bit. Patching in the cloud, that's also, everything is going automatically. Oracle is going to provide you the patch. Then you are going to make a decision. When are we going to install? Because it's still your choice, but then sometimes it's a bit crossing your fingers if everything is going well. Again, we think everything is going automatically, but also here we had a problem by applying a patch, and our service was out of order. I remember quite well. I had you on the phone. It was not too long, but still it was. This is one of our frustrations. We made a decision. When you have only 1 or 2 CPUs, you are not going to think about bare metal, because it's much, much higher in cost. So we made a decision to move to a virtual machine. And to be fair, it's in Oracle documentation, it's in small letters. We wanted to move to a higher amount of CPUs to scale up. In a classic cloud, it was only pressing 1 button, and I was not able to scale up. So it was a little bit panic. We want to scale up. What do we need to do? So I was thinking, okay, we have a backup. We also can restore the backup. So what we are going to do, we are going to make a new database, and then we are going to restore the backup in the new database, and then you can scale up. It's a little bit strange to do it that way. I do not know another workaround. I need to wait till Oracle, because I was so frustrated that I called Oracle Development in my evening and told about my frustration by the customer, and they promised me to change their life, and it is on the roadmap, and I think, but yeah, safe harbor, I have no safe harbor anymore, but in April or May, we have the possibility to scale it. But realize that it is not available. When you have 4 CPUs or more, then it's worth to calculate if bare metal is an interesting choice. But that's calculation.
Okay.
Some good news?
Let's put some positivity in the whole story. We are, yes, there are some advantages for us in our situation. It's a steady environment.